It's the only applause I've gotten this year. It's good it's almost over. What'd you say, Mike? Hi, Mike. Hello, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2015 Greater Butler County Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame. This event began in 1989, and we are pleased to be celebrating our 22nd Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight. It's truly a pleasure and an honor for me to be here and to see all you here as we pay tribute to those individuals who have demonstrated extraordinary dedication to their success while nurturing and developing the leaders for tomorrow. And thank you everyone for joining our celebration. So now I'd like to introduce the Chair of Junior Achievement of OKA Partners, Greater Butler and Warren Counties, Board of Directors from Turner Construction, Steve Swisher.
Good evening. Welcome on behalf of the Board of Directors of JA, Greater Butler County, and Warren Counties, along with the Junior Achievement Group. We're all honored to induct the 5 laureates into the Greater Butler County Business Hall of Fame this evening. These 4 individuals have helped make Butler County a great community that we live in. Thank you to all of our laureates for your dedication to our community, for your business skills, and your philanthropic spirit. I'd like to invite Pastor John Lewis to lead us in tonight's invocation, please.
Let us bow our heads in prayer. Almighty and everlasting God, as we watch the seasons change all around us at this time of year, we are grateful that you are always faithful and never change. And as we gather here together this evening, we give you thanks for this wonderful meal that has been set before us and the hands that have graciously prepared it. We give you thanks for those we honor this evening, Woody Fitton, Lazard Kahn, Al Kwasinski, and John Reister, for their professional and philanthropic contributions to our community. May we never forget that the greatest asset of any community are those who lead and serve. We humbly ask that you would continue to bless our families and our businesses, and we pray that you would continue to watch over each of us gathered here this evening. We pray in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Now, if you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin dinner, we'd like to direct your attention to the screens to watch a brief video about the Junior Achievement Program.
8th grade is a great age to really talk to them about the choices that they make and the consequences of those choices. So as they go into high school, they can start to prepare for college. They can start to think about getting a job and earning some money on their own.
Gives you options as you go on through life, like if you want to stay in college or if you want to go to the workforce. It like shows you the pros and cons of that.
Because now, like, you really don't think about much about what you want to do when you get older, and it helps you.
It kind of it gave me a reality check that I'm gonna have to be a lot more responsible than I thought I would. Not just with my money, but also with the choices that I make.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've probably gone through 8 career choices. So this has kind of helped me narrow it down because I don't think I'm gonna change again.
For me, I thought I was the well-prepared person, and I'm not. I'm so unprepared for the future, and I just can't wait to hear more about what they have to teach us.
They are like sponges. And the 8th grade program is such a great program that Junior Achievement's put together. And you start out working with the kids and you talk to them about the importance of making decisions. Just making a simple decision.
Junior Achievement is a way for parents, volunteers, anybody outside of the school, I think, to get involved in the school and teach kids about economics, about capitalism, about the way the world works.
What we see it as a life skills program, really. You know, it's. I think the image of the program in past years may have been that it's kind of focused on business. And although, you know, there are business principles involved in the presentation, this is really about life skills. It's about living.
When I get older and go off to college and then soon to be an adult and working, I need to know how to save my money.
People are trying to give you credit cards, and you have to manage your money. You have to have a bank account, a debit card, and manage all of those things.
Credit, debit, budgeting, career choices, values, the importance of education, type of things that just aren't taught on a daily basis.
Check your monthly statements for errors when using this card.
How do your parents generally pay for goods and services that you all need? Credit card, huge way to pay these days, yeah. Cash is a good way to do it, and it doesn't run up your credit, yeah.
I feel like I've learned how to spend my money, because last week we actually did this thing where we each got a job and our monthly income gross, not having paid taxes but gross, and then having to learn how to spend our money. And based on a couple of options, they gave us like what clothes would we buy, where would we live.
Entertainment, food, clothing, housing, or transportation. And you had to budget within your means.
And how all of those things, depending on the choices, directly result in, do I have extra money or do I have no money?
I think they have more to teach us because it's a whole world out there. It's a lot to, learn. You learn something new every day.
The fact that I have these people from the outside world coming into my classroom and they're the experts, and just having that positive interaction with them. It's one thing to learn from a textbook. It's another thing when you have that person right in front of you, because you have that role model, you have that executive.
Students are into it just like that. And almost to the point where the JA presenters are scrambling to give them more and more and more because they're hungry for it.
It's been one of the best experiences to me to be able to, give back and to see the kids, learning these things and excited about it.
This is something where you can really make a difference. And you can see the difference. You can see the difference in a short time. In addition to the fact that there are going to be things that they now know because of you that they're going to take with them for the rest of their life.
The neatest part about it is when I know that they get it, that they're getting it, and that they're interested in it.
A number of students, thank you. You get the real sense from some of the students who interact with you that they really are getting something out of this.
The 8th graders that I've taught, and I've now taught 3 classes, and I'm signed up to teach a 4th starting next week, I think they truly appreciate it.
Junior Achievement really helps you prepare for your life. It helps you, it makes you think now.
I knew before that I wanted to go to college and get a degree, but now I think past that.
I am prepared for the obstacles that I have ahead of me.
It showed me opportunities that I want to really go to college and be something.
It says that I want to have a future.
Do great in life.
So as a classroom volunteer for, the past 15 years, and many of you that have participated in the classroom or helped in some special way to the classroom or being here tonight, there's so much truth to that video that it's really hard to put in words and create a video that does the program, the just cause that we're here for. So on behalf of more than the 4,800 students in Greater Butler and Warren counties who receive the benefit from the JA program, and volunteers like myself, board members, we'd like to say thank you. Obviously the proceeds from tonight's event will go to many students in the Butler and Warren County areas for the opportunity to receive the JA experience, like many of you give through the classroom, that is a financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship.
So tonight, before we begin the presentation of the laureates, we have a little business to conduct, and that business is going to be conducted by Carol Lucio, who's the director of JA of Butler County. Carol?
Good evening. It's always a pleasure to be here and to honor such fine people. And I want to thank so many who contribute to making this night such a great night. But I especially have to acknowledge those board members who are in attendance tonight, because without them, we would not be able to serve the students that we serve. They do a tremendous job, both with their time, their talent, and their treasure. So I'd like them just to stand and be recognized, please. So if you're a JA Greater Butler County board member, please rise and let us acknowledge you. They are some of the finest people around. So I'm not going to take a lot of your time, but I do want to share a really quick story. And that is that I feel like we do a really great job of being a connector. I like to refer to it as the domino effect. So my story is to share that we have a breakfast to help us raise money for our programs every year. And at our breakfast this past spring, our board chair, Steve Swisher, invited an associate that he knows from another company. And that associate came to the breakfast and he heard the stories about what we do, and he heard Zelene Miller speak from Hamilton High School, and he was so impressed with her. And those of you that know Zelene know how impressive and amazing that woman is. And so he went up to her afterwards and was talking to her about how they need employees who have carpentry skills. And she said, well, I'll put you in touch with our carpentry teacher, Tim Carpenter. Isn't that awesome? His name is Tim Carpenter. He teaches carpentry, easy for me to remember. So they were in touch, and the company, representatives from the company went to Hamilton High School, and they received resumes from about a dozen students. They interviewed them all, and upon graduation, 6 Hamilton High School seniors had jobs because of the work that we're doing and the links that we are being. So I wanted to share that with you because this event here tonight, the job of our board, all those little pieces, we may not always see the connections that happen, but they're happening out there all the time. And I'm very pleased to say that we're helping students either be prepared for or even beyond sometimes even getting jobs. So thank you for helping us to do that. There are many ways to be involved, either as classroom volunteers or hosting students for our job exploration day, or of course giving of your treasure in addition to your time and talent. So whatever ways that you feel that you can contribute or you'd like to learn more, please let me know. We'd love to have you involved. And I thank you for being here tonight, and enjoy the program.
Carol does all the planning for this evening's event, and I know you can all appreciate how difficult that is sometimes. So Carol, thank you very much for all you've done. So you might wonder how we ended up here tonight and what prompted the naming of the laureates that we've chosen to be honored tonight. Prior to each event, potential laureate honorees are evaluated and selected by the Laureate Selection Committee, which is comprised of past laureates, many of whom you've seen this evening. This is a really unique process because it means that the people who we recognize as being the outstanding contributors in our community and successful business people are recognizing their peers. So for me, in 2004 when I was honored, I felt so incredibly honored and blessed to be named by the people who I felt were so important to my progress as a business person. They're considered to be my peers, of course, and this creates a college of remarkable people that is sustained each year by the new members, as you've seen tonight. So we met about 10 months ago. And prior to that meeting, potential laureates are offered in writing to the committee, and we get a chance to review who those people might be, maybe do a little research on your own of what they've accomplished. And then we come together as a group, and they're pitched by the other people, the other laureates in the crowd. So whoever wrote the nomination for that laureate then is pitching the rest of us to consider that person to be an honoree tonight. So you can see that it's not just kind of a process that we just pull people out of the air. It really is meaningful to the people who make the choices, and hopefully that makes it more meaningful for the people who are honored. So each person that we honor has a long and distinguished track record, as you would expect, of outstanding achievements, and their impact has in many ways significantly influenced their organization, their community, the country, and the world. Throughout their careers, each has adhered to the highest standards of moral and ethical principles and are looked upon as role models for others in business. And finally, each laureate lived and worked in the greater Butler County area during the time in which all of these criteria were met. This event, go off script here for just a minute. This event was really patterned after a national event that Junior Achievement does. And to be honest, I'm not even sure that they still do it nationally. But the fact that we've been able to do it for 22 years is a remarkable testament to the people who continue to step up in our communities. And that would include, obviously, the people here tonight. Now imagine my privilege when I'm able to stand up here and present awards to people that I know and love and have been such good friends for so many years. We work together, we play together, we swim together, we do all kinds of things together that generate the kind of interest in our community that also generates a passion for the people that we care for. So join me in getting to know each of these great people that you'll see tonight in the videos. So we have videos to show you, and our first laureate is a historical honor. So please join me in getting to know this great man, Lazard Khan.
Lazard Khan is one of the oldest, most resourceful, and influential men Hamilton has ever known. Born November 22, 1850, in Ingviller, Alsace, France, he was one of 18 children of David and Caroline Khan. He was educated in the common school of his native village in Ingviller and in the superior school of Dukesviller, Alsace. When he had reached the age of 15, necessity sent him from his homeland across the Atlantic to the United States. He arrived with his father's blessing, a small bundle of clothing, and 40 francs. Lazard first landed and found work in Indianapolis before moving on to Marshall, Iowa. In both places, he found occupations that would accommodate a young immigrant boy strange to customs and language. At Marshall, Iowa, in addition to doing other things, he peddled and sold lamp burners and other small articles. After spending 6 months in Marshall, young Lazard started for Cincinnati, walking much of the way. Soon after arriving in Cincinnati, he was provided an opportunity to go to Nashville and begin learning of the blackening of stoves. He spent 5 years in the industry in Nashville and another 3 in Alabama before returning to Cincinnati, where he worked for Martin Henderson and Company. Lazard was soon joined by his brother Felix, and in 1873, they were each given an opportunity to purchase a 1/5 interest in the stove foundry. In subsequent years, other partners in the foundry began to retire, and the brothers purchased their interest until in 1881, they had bought out all other partners and the firm name was changed to F&L Khan & Brothers. In 1884, they moved the foundry to Hamilton, while still maintaining a Cincinnati office. It was not long before the growth of the company expanded far beyond the local region, state, and national level, reaching into China, Japan, Spain, France, and England. When buying into the company, the foundry was producing approximately 400 tons of stoves per year and had grown to manufacture 2,400 tons of stoves annually. In 1887, brother Samuel Khan became a member of the firm, joining his brothers, allowing Lazard to give his attention to the technical management of their business. The shop in Hamilton employed 200 men and was such a model in the industry that it was identically copied by several enterprising stove foundries.
They sold train cars full of ranges and hydraulics to big companies. And that, that helped the people who worked there for their income. I don't know what the city would have done without, one big company like that makes a big difference.
Everything about their diversified line of stovework was done completely in-house. The foundry contained its own extensive sheet metal shop, plating room, and art department. Their designs were always an industry leader. Because of this, Lazard Kahn was long recognized as a man of special practical attainments in the stove trade and in the council of the Stove Makers Association, where he was an active member of the executive committee. At the Paris Universal Exposition of 1889, President Grover Cleveland appointed Lazard as a member of the International Jury in Class 27. In recognition of his services upon that jury, the President of the French Republic honored him with the ensign of the Chevalier Légion d'Honneur. When Lazard Kahn took up residence in Hamilton, he at once became active in the affairs of the community. He was generous in his support of every endeavor, both through personal effort and financially.
Mr. Kahn was known for his generosity of both time and money to the city of Hamilton. He dearly loved his adopted city of Hamilton. He was known as a man of hard work. He was definitely a man of principles, a man of honesty, a man of integrity. And his story of his life is basically a story of a self-made man made through hard work and achievement of his own effort.
Being a man of vision, he saw great things for Hamilton. In 1890, he joined other civic leaders, including Oakey Parish, to form the Hamilton Improvement Syndicate, known as HIS, for the purpose of attracting other businesses to the city. The group purchased land on the east side of Hamilton and persuaded several manufacturers, including Mosler Safe and Lock Company, Hamilton Foundry Machine Company, and the Fred J. Myers Manufacturing Company to locate to the area. Kahn described the impact of Mosler's relocation as far-reaching. He said,
"We must not figure on the amount of money they would spend in our town in 1 year, but must figure on the amount that would accrue to the businessmen here in the years to follow. I look for the time when the citizens of this city will be astounded at the growth resultant from this effort."
One of his outstanding contributions was service on the Board of Sewer Commissioners when Hamilton developed a sewer system. He was instrumental in the development of the Lindenwold community of Hamilton and the street railway system. He was also a founder of the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. As director of the Inland Waterways Association, he urged creation of a Miami and Erie barge canal along the Great Miami River and the route of the Miami-Erie Canal. It was in 1906 that the Estate Stove Company was incorporated, and Lazard Kahn became one of its directors and the vice president of the company. Then in 1924, upon the death of his brother Felix, Lazard was named the new president. And reporting of his death in 1928, the Journal News noted, his name is on the roster of practically every worthwhile endeavor in Hamilton. For all these things and so much more, we are honored to include Lazard Kahn into the Greater Butler County Business Hall of Fame.
As you can see, one of the beauties of this event is to get to know people that you might not have known before. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find any living descendants of Lazard's family, so this award, as well as the video, and along with others that we have, will be housed at the Lane Public Library. And just to talk about that for just a minute, in 1996, the JA Business Hall of Fame Committee, in collaboration with the Lane Public Library, established the Eric Scruggs Hall of Fame Archive. This archive was named to memorialize a former president of JA who died very young. And the Lane continues to manage the comprehensive biographical library that is available for the public to appreciate and enjoy. So if you would like to see more about all the people that have been honored throughout the course of time for 22 years, that archive is at the Lane Library. It's accessible online as well as at the library itself. So now here to induct our next laureate are Adam and Olivia Kwasinski, grandchildren of our next honoree.
Good evening, Adam Kwasinski and Olivia Kwasinski, and we are two of 14 grandchildren to Alfred Kwasinski, and recently adding one more to the number of 4 great-grandchildren. And we are very fortunate to call this man our grandfather for many reasons, other than just the traditional love and affection and generosity that comes from a grandparent, but he is a special type of role model. His story is tremendous, and we are just very lucky to be able to share that with him, and the experiences that he can share with us. Some of the greatest life lessons that we'll always have are from him. Somebody that took seemingly nothing and turned it into everything that he has today, and to give us the idea that you can achieve anything at all that you want to if you put your heart and mind into it, your full heart and mind. And for all that, we are so appreciative of his love. So thank you for everybody here tonight that is here to celebrate his award as well as the other great recipients. And a special note to him, as much as he would like to be here, he couldn't, but I know he'll relish in watching this video. And so from his grandchildren, a special message that, Granddad, we love you, and we're so very thankful for everything that you do and everything that you mean to us. Thank you.
Alfred Kwasinski was born on August 3, 1924, in Warsaw, Poland, to Evelyn and Ludwik Kwasinski. In 1939, Poland was invaded by Germany, and in 1942, he was arrested with a large group of Poles of different ages and imprisoned in a Warsaw prison for approximately 90 days. He was shipped to Auschwitz and about 2 months later shipped to Schwecht, a suburb of Vienna, Austria, where he spent approximately 2.5 years in a labor concentration camp, working on component parts for Henkel's piloted rocket aircraft, along with German and other political prisoners. Al was liberated by the American 11th Armored Division on May 5, 1945, and spent the next 2 years working for the United States Forces, Austria. Al arrived in New York in October 1947 on a special visa, and as soon as he received his first papers, enlisted in the U.S. Army, and after completion of basic training was sent to Japan. He spent the next 48 months in Japan and Korea with the 8th Army and 1st Cavalry Division, and was discharged in New York and naturalized 2 months later. Al spent the next 7 years working for the New York branch of Diebold's microfilm division. While working for Diebold in New York, Al took advantage of the GI Bill of Rights, and after attending night classes for 6 years, received his business degree from Pace College in New York. In 1959, Al was offered a job with the New York station Mosler to be in charge of their new office systems division with emphasis on mechanical records retrieval systems. Less than 2 years later, he was transferred to Hamilton, Ohio to spearhead the transfer of Mosler's marketing department. He went on to spend more than 5 years as a product manager for their systems division. In 1966, Al started the Hamilton Sorter Company out of a 2-story house on Bell Avenue. Beginning with just 4 employees, the only product they offered was a manual paper sorting device, which would come to be sold to office equipment dealers all over the country.
Al was a really good entrepreneur. He had great presence and attracted really good people around him to form his team.
Within a year, the company relocated to a newly constructed 8,000 square foot building on Production Drive in Fairfield, Ohio. Over the next 23 years, Al kept developing new products. Key products that drove the company's growth were ergonomic computer workstations, acoustical enclosures for high-speed printers, a unique line of office workstations, and a line of mailroom furniture that's still recognized today as state-of-the-art. Many of these unique products were patented and vigorously protected. As the company grew, manufacturing and office space on Production Drive expanded, purchasing 4 additional facilities. When Al sold the company in 1989, he had over 60,000 square feet of manufacturing and office space, and over 200 permanent and temporary employees. The original paper sorting device now represented less than 1% of total sales.
He sort of took me under his wing, and we had a good relationship. He taught me a lot about business, taught me a lot about family, taught me a lot about friendships, and very, very strong relationship over the years.
Hamilton Sorter products were sold by a national network of independent distributors who specialized in computer supplies, filing systems, and mailing machines. Al's oldest son, Gordon, joined the company after college in 1977 after spending all of his summers working for the company since its inception. Gordon stayed on to run the company for the new ownership until 1992. In 2016, Hamilton Sorter will celebrate its 50th anniversary. Many of the products that Al pioneered are still actively sold through its national network of independent dealers. A number of these dealers have represented Hamilton Sorter for over 40 years, a tribute to the loyalty that Al developed when he owned the company.
I think a lot of other people did not, over the years, understand his passion for life and his passion for the business. And he would always speak his mind, right, wrong, or indifferent, and a lot of people did not understand that. And I think it's the same thing that you'll hear about a lot of entrepreneurs, that people don't understand what makes an entrepreneur tick. But his passion for the business, his passion for life, his passion today to still do the things he wants to do, even at the ripe young age of 91, is something that's really unbelievable.
Al was a member of the Hugh L. Bates Masonic Lodge for 38 years. He is a 32nd degree Scottish Rites Mason, a Shriner, and has been a Rotarian for almost 50 years in Hamilton, Fairfield, as well as several clubs in Hawaii. Since retiring, Al and Pat have been actively involved in numerous organizations, including American Heart Association, Diamond Head Theater, Hawaii Theater, and Eisenhower Medical Center. Cruising became one of Al and Pat's favorite activities. They've cruised all over the world, including the Mediterranean, Australia, Europe, Japan, and several trips to Alaska. They also arranged multiple family vacations to Colorado, Montana, and most recently an Alaska cruise for all 29 family members. 2 years after he sold the company, Al and his wife Pat relocated to Hawaii, where they maintained a vacation home for many years. A few years ago, they decided to relocate back to the mainland and now reside in Indian Wells, California, so they can be closer to their family. Al and Pat have been married for 35 years and have 6 children between them: Gordon, Wanda, John, Karen, Andrea, and Michael. They are also proud grandparents of 14 grandchildren.
Al gave me a part-time job, allowed me to work during the summer around schedules, and he adopted me as one of his long-lost relatives, I think. We were very, very close. I was part of many, many good times at Hamilton Sorter. Al, one time, when I introduced my wife to him, eventually ended up getting married to her, it told me that I wasn't allowed to go on my honeymoon. And what he meant was I wasn't allowed to go to Florida on my honeymoon. He came back to me about a week later, and he said that rather than going to Florida, he was sending me to Hawaii for 2 weeks. So again, very, very special person in my life, and one that is very, very close to a lot of people.
Al, thank you for all that you have done for your community. Through your hard work and dedication, you have more than earned the honor granted to you this evening. Welcome, Al Kwasinski, to the Greater Butler County Business Hall of Fame.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to top what Adam said here a few minutes ago, because that's truly spoken from the heart. And that's kind of where I reside also. 6 months ago, I think it was about 6 months ago, when Al was first nominated for this award, it's pretty much every time we would talk every week, it was all he would talk about, the fact that he was going to come back to Hamilton, he was going to get to see his old friends, Larry, Bill Keck, John Reister, and he was really, really looking forward to it. The only reason he's not here tonight is because his doctor said, you know, he came down with a little bit of a virus. He's not strong enough to travel, but his mind is sharp as ever. And if he was here, I asked him, I said, what would you like me to say on your behalf? And he said, well, you know, you're as good at winging it as I am. So I said, okay. But I think he would, first of all, he would be honored to receive this award. He would be humbled to receive this award, because it's not anything that he did not seek that kind of recognition when he lived here, nor has he ever sought any recognition like that through his philanthropic events that he's been involved in, donated. But I think, you know, more importantly, he would be very, and is very grateful for the opportunity, especially the opportunity to come to this country, to serve his country, for the ability to work hard. I mean, his story, as our family members have talked many, many times, it is true American hero story, that a man could come to this country and do what he's done over the years. But what he's really cherished over the years is the relationships he's built with people. And he was, as I said a few minutes ago, he was really looking forward to seeing a lot of people here in the room. And over the years, he had a lot of people that helped him along the way. If you saw the little bio in the program, he mentions a lot of people by name. He remembers where those people were when he needed them and how they helped him. And then, as you also saw, he had, the family was very important. Those trips that he would organize usually were around his milestone birthdays. They started on his 70th, 75th, 80th, 85th. And then we had the pleasure last year of surprising him on his 90th birthday. He didn't think anything was going to happen. A number of us got together in California and surprised him on his 90th birthday. He had no idea it was going to happen. So that was really special for all of us to be able to do that. But those family trips, there was two things that he would expect on those family trips. One, if he organized it, you were to be there. No questions about it. And the other thing, for those of us who will remember, was the photographs that you saw. You knew that photograph was going to happen. Sometimes it went off well, sometimes it didn't come off so well. But we always got the shot, if you will. So there were a lot of great times. But I think in closing, what I want to say is that last year when we surprised him on his 90th birthday, and he and I were talking off to the side after dinner, and I said, you really have a lot to be thankful for. You've got, you're successful in business. You have this huge, healthy family. And you just really have a lot to be grateful for. And he said to me something that I have not forgotten since then. He says, all my life, I have never looked back. I've always looked forward. And he says, that's gotten me through so many different things over time. When he was in the camps, when he got to this country, when the business got tough, when there were family issues, he would always look forward. And as I said in the video, he always did it with a lot of passion. So he really is, as Adam said, an incredible individual. He's 91 in a few months, still very lucid and very with it. So I'm very honored to accept this award on his behalf and on behalf of our family. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce Sarah and Ann Sarah Reister Warland and Ann Reister, daughters of our next honoree.
For those of you that know our dad, you know that he is one of the most humble people that you will ever meet.
It's hard to remember a time growing up when our father wasn't juggling a variety of projects that promoted the greater good of the community.
While his hard work and effort have been obvious to us for our entire lives, we're thrilled to introduce him as the next honoree.
We're so proud of you, Dad, and we love you.
A lifelong resident of Hamilton, Ohio, John Reister was born on September 7, 1949, the youngest child of Frederick and Rosemary Reister. John attended St. Peter and Chains Elementary School and graduated from St. Xavier High School. In 1971, John earned his Bachelor of Arts degree from Denison University, where he was a varsity swimmer all 4 years and an All-American swimmer for 3. At the advice of his father, John spent a summer at Culver Military Academy. Spending the summer at Culver convinced John to pursue higher education in a more conventional manner. Following his graduation from Denison, John traveled to France with Ray Connaughton, where he worked at the Olivard, France facility of the Wheelabrator Companies. In 1972, John joined the Air Force and served as a first lieutenant. He was stationed in Thailand as an intelligence officer during Vietnam. During this time, he also traveled extensively throughout Asia and the Middle East. Upon his return from the Air Force, John attended the Cleveland Marshall College of Law School with help from the GI Bill. He received his Juris Doctorate in 1977.
When he started practicing, after he took the bar exam in 1978, I had him do some legal research for me, and right then you could just tell that he understood the law, he knew how to research, he knew how to write, he knows how to deal with people, so he has all aspects of what you need to be a good lawyer, and he's started with that in 1978 and he's continued it right through 2015, and he's just one of those lawyers that you love to be around and everyone respects.
John grew up around the practice of law as his father, Frederick Reister, was a highly respected attorney in Butler County for many years. John's father was the managing partner of the firm that would become Milliken & Fitton Law Firm. Joining the family tradition of practicing law, as his father and brother Fred had done, seemed to be a natural segue back into the real world following his service in the Air Force. John was admitted to the practice of law in 1978. He spent a couple of years in private practice before following in the footsteps of his father by joining Milliken & Fitton Law Firm in 1980. Focusing his practice in the areas of business transactions, complex real estate matters, estate planning, and probate, John is recognized and highly revered as a legal expert in these areas.
Working with John is challenging. He's demanding of himself, and so as a result, he's demanding of everybody around him, but in a good way.
John has been instrumental in the development of major roadways, commercial and residential developments, and has negotiated countless transactional business deals in Butler and surrounding counties. He also represents a vast number of individuals and businesses.
With John Reister, you could tell funny stories, you could tell sad stories, you could tell so many stories, but I think that anyone that would talk about John Reister would have to talk in a very clear voice that he is such a sincere, dedicated person for serving the people that he lives with, works with, and I just think he's such a sincere individual that everybody loves him.
In 1981, John married Ellen Graff at the Church of the Ascension and Holy Trinity in Wyoming, Ohio. John and Ellen have 2 daughters, Sarah and Ann, and are loving grandparents to their grandchildren, Waters and Rosie. Their daughter Sarah is also an attorney who has practiced with Milliken & Fitton. John and Ellen enjoy quiet evenings with friends, traveling and spending time with their family at their home in Michigan. To honor John's various accomplishments in swimming, John was inducted into the Denison University Athletic Hall of Fame and the Butler County Sports Hall of Fame. An avid swimmer and runner, John ran his first Flying Pig Marathon and competed in the Floridian Ironman competition at the age of 50. In 2003, John just missed completing a swim across the English Channel. Among John's many contributions to the Hamilton community are serving as past board member and chairman of the Hamilton Community Foundation, trustee and past president of the Butler County Bar Association, past board member of the Boys and Girls Club, contributing member of the Hamilton Fairfield Estate Planning Council, board member of Schroeder Manor, past board member of the City of Hamilton Human Relations Commission, and parish council at St. Peter and James. In addition, John served as special counsel to the Ohio Attorney General's office from 1984 through 1996. He represents the Butler County Port Authority and other local governmental agencies. In 2009, John was named the hometown hero in an article published in the leading lawyers section of Cincy magazine. John has donated many hours of his time to benefit local youth through his commitment to the New London Hills Swim and Tennis Club, the Miami University Aquatic Club, the Fairfield YMCA, and the Ursuline Academy swim team. Though the contributions to his practice and the community are numerous and outstanding, John's family has always been his top priority. John Reister is an outstanding lawyer. He is passionate about his practice. He is incredibly detail-oriented, maintains the highest standards of ethics, and is uncompromising on his principles and the quality of his work.
His uniqueness, I think, comes in the way that he goes about his business. He is not combative. He is very professional, very detail-oriented. I can think of many situations where he would come to a closing and bring with him a handwritten 8.5 piece of paper that would have a checklist that he would make sure that there wasn't any detail that he hadn't missed during the course of that closing.
John epitomizes the class, character, and professionalism that an attorney should represent. John inspires and leads others by example with his actions. He has mentored many young lawyers, impacting them not only as professionals, but as individuals.
I would characterize John as a wonderful mentor. I know that he has assisted or acted as a mentor to many of the lawyers in this office, yours truly in particular, and he has really assisted me both in the practice of law and mentored me in the practice of law, as well as in life's personal experiences as well. I always seek John's counsel for different things.
John is a brilliant gentleman who assists his clients in achieving their goals. He is a good-natured and humble individual that values his family and friends. John, thank you for all that you have done for your community. Through your hard work and dedication, you have more than earned the honor granted to you this evening. welcome John Reister to the Greater Butler County Business Hall of Fame.
Wow, that was impressive. Who is that guy? I'm really overwhelmed to be recognized by the Junior Achievement Committee for doing a job that I truly enjoy doing. I'm humbled to be part of the group of really impressive business and community leaders who have preceded me into this Hall of Fame. Thank you to Junior Achievement for this honor. Congratulations to my fellow laureates, and welcome on your induction into this Hall of Fame. Thank you to my family and friends who are here this evening, and to the video stars, Frank Fearman, Jeff Rulon, Kathy Evans, Lee Parrish, and Ed Shelton, for their very kind words. To my wife Ellen, and to Dina Wodel, the office manager at Milliken & Fitton, thank you for the wonderful job you did putting my life together into that 5-minute video. Having spent over 65 years writing that book, I'm thankful for the chapters that made the video, and I'm secretly thankful for those chapters that didn't. Any success that I've been able to achieve in business, I attribute to 4 sources. First, my clients. Being a lawyer means being of service to others. I would be the first to tell you that I've had the great fortune of working with a great group of amazing clients. I've listened to them describe their dreams and help them in small ways plan how to achieve them. I've marveled as they've reached their goals and in many cases exceeded them. To aid them along the way has been incredibly rewarding for me. Second, my partners. I've had the privilege of practicing at the Milliken & Fitton Law Firm for over 35 years, and in doing so, I've had the privilege of working with the greatest group of lawyers that I could ask to be associated with. They are smart, eager to help, and recognize that the client's goal is our number one goal. To each of you, you are a dear friend, and I am thankful for the honor of being able to practice law with you. Third, to my family. Throughout my career, I've been motivated by the love, support, and example set by my family. It's with great admiration that I listen to my younger daughter, Anne, talk about conquering the corporate world of the cosmetics industry in New York City. Since these are Anne's stories, I can assure you there's a great deal of humor involved in many of those stories. I didn't have the privilege of practicing law with my father, but I did have the great privilege of practicing law with my daughter, Sarah. Her attention to detail and easy way with clients was a great source of pride for me. Of greater pride to me now is the job that she and her husband, Teddy, are doing in raising their 2 young children, Waters and Rosie. I'm constantly inspired by the commitment that my wife, Ellen, has for her volunteer work and service to her church. I'm also grateful for the unwavering support that Ellen had for me during what many people considered to be my extreme sporting activities. The 4th source is maybe the greatest source, and that's keep it short. I think that one speaks for itself. To Sarah and Ann, thank you for your very kind words tonight. You are rock stars. To Ellen, you are the love of my life. To Junior Achievement, thank you again for this wonderful honor, and keep pressing forward on your very, very important mission. To my partners, keep inspiring me because I think there's plenty of gas left in the tank and much more to achieve in the years to come. Thank you.
I won't share any of those stories he talked about not sharing either, although it's tempting, very tempting. Our final laureate this evening is Vaden Fitton, and he's going to be introduced by Steve Sullivan.
Thank you, Neil. You know, traditionally they have a family member introduce a laureate, and I realize that since they asked me, it must mean that we're related, Woody. So I'm in the will. No, I'm actually honored to be able to introduce Woody. Woody and I have a kind of a unique relationship. First and foremost, I consider Woody to be a great friend. We've had a lot of fun together, known each other for a lot of years, been on a lot of golf trips. We've tipped a few beers together. We've had a lot of fun. Another relationship that we've had is that Woody was my banker for a lot of years, for business and personal, and did a great job for me. Service was fantastic, did everything that was needed. And when he decided that apparently he'd made all the money that he needed in the world, he decided that when he wanted to go to work for the YMCA, where you don't make any money, I was actually on the search committee that hired Woody. So I was his boss, I guess, and been on the Y board for a number of years with Woody. So in that role, we've kind of had a unique relationship. And then finally, another relationship we have is I think as a community service. Woody was born into a family that has no equal in terms of community service. The Fitton family, Woody has followed in the footsteps of his father, his grandfather, grandparents, and aunts and uncles who have a long history of community service. And Woody has followed and wears that mantle proudly and has done a great job with that. And we've served on a lot of boards and committees together, and Woody is as involved in the community as anyone could possibly be. I can think of no one who's more deserving of this award than Woody. Woody, congratulations.
A native Hamiltonian, Vaden Woods Fitton, or Woody, is the son of Vaden and Grace Addison Fitton, the youngest of 3 children. A deep compassion and desire to help his community was instilled in Woody at a young age, thanks to the example set for him by the long-standing tradition of generosity exhibited by the Fitton family. As a youth, in keeping with the Fitton tradition, Woody became actively involved with the Hamilton West YMCA. Woody attended Miami University and took up employment at Ohio Casualty. Following his graduation, Woody met Diane Skalkos,
a fellow underwriter,
at Ohio Casualty. Diane had a strict rule not to date her coworkers. Woody's persuasive personality prevailed, and the two were married on August 23, 1986, and together they had 2 sons, Andrew and Vaden, both boys, named after their grandfathers. Before long, Woody continued the long-standing Fitton tradition of working at First Financial Bank. Woody would go on to serve as Senior Vice President of First Financial Bank in a career that spanned 20 years. During that time, he was instrumental in opening the IRA department and discount brokerage area. He later became one of the senior lenders at the bank and was sales leader and manager of the commercial lending divisions for the Hamilton, Fairfield, and Oxford markets.
It wasn't about Woody, it was about the people. It was about his staff, it was about his clients. He always thought of everybody else except for himself.
Over the years, Woody advocated for many local business leaders. For instance, when the Hamiltonian Hotel was faced with the risk of closure, Woody worked diligently to implement a solution, connecting leaders at Ohio Casualty and First Financial Bank to come up with a way to save the hotel. Woody was able to persuade both the bank and Ohio Casualty to forgive portions of a bond as corporate donations to the project. The hotel became property of the Hamilton Community Foundation, and with the leadership of Woody's longtime friend Craig Wilkes, they were able to raise money to completely renovate and remarket what is now the Courtyard by Marriott.
You know, Woody called me one day, and I was the chairman of the board of the Community Foundation at the time, and Woody was working at the bank, and the bank had a financial interest in the hotel. And Woody and I talked on the phone, and he said, you know, Craig, it's going to be up to us, you know, to make this happen. It's interesting, you know, that we were involved at the onset of that, and it's been a great success for the community, and it's really spurred a lot of the new development that has taken place in Hamilton, and we're all very proud of that.
During Woody's 20 years in commercial lending, he became reconnected to the YMCA. Woody began serving on the YMCA Board of Trustees in 1997 and served as chairman from 2003 to 2005. In 2005, Woody was named president and CEO of the YMCA. Woody's active involvement with the Y continues a Fitton legacy. Woody himself is a fifth-generation Y-man, following in the footsteps of many Fittons before him. Woody's role with the YMCA is a story of great contribution and success. Woody helped to build the East Butler County branch. raising more than $8 million and establishing this fourth branch of the YMCA. Further, Woody was instrumental in the merger between Middletown and the Great Miami Valley YMCA associations in June of 2004. The collaboration laid the groundwork for later efforts between the Atrium Medical Center and the YMCA to create a seventh branch, named the Atrium Family YMCA. Under Woody's dynamic leadership as president and CEO, the Great Miami Valley YMCA has greatly expanded its facilities and programs. In 2006, the new Ernst M. and Helen S. Reuter Family Water Park at East Butler YMCA was opened. Further, teen centers were opened at the Middletown and Hamilton branches. A new children's center was established. And a major expansion of the Wellness Center at the East Butler YMCA was completed. Major facility improvements took place at the Hamilton, Fairfield, and Middletown YMCA facilities, and renovations to the Hamilton Central Youth Department and Weight Training Center were made. As membership increased substantially, the operating budget has grown from $9 million to $15 million, with the association employing 750 people at 8 locations.
Woody Fitton is one of the most community-oriented people I have come across in my 5 years in Hamilton, Ohio. The Fitton family has a long history in Hamilton, and his commitment and his family's commitment to this area is almost unparalleled.
In 2013, the City of Hamilton reached out to Woody, as YMCA President and CEO, about the operations of the Booker T. Washington Community Center. After much research, reflection, and advice gathering, Woody responded innovatively by agreeing to the city's request on 2 conditions. One, that the center would be a collaborative effort, utilizing the expertise of other nonprofits. Secondly, the collaborative would move forward if the YMCA was successful in fundraising the operating and programmatic expenses. Woody successfully brought together the Hamilton Community Foundation, the City of Hamilton, and Butler County United Way as funders. The center now serves more than 600 members, including 350 youth and teens. Woody's abilities and influence have touched many parts of the Butler County community. He serves on the boards of Community First Solutions, the Butler County United Way, and the Greater Hamilton Chamber of Commerce. Woody is a past board member of Fort Hamilton Hospital, Colonial Senior Services, and the American Red Cross. He has served as president of the Hamilton Rotary Club and is chairman and treasurer of Junior Achievement of Butler County. While serving as a board member of Fort Hamilton, Woody participated in the selection of the new healthcare partner, Kettering Health Network. He participated in a significant family financial commitment to the Fitton Center for the Arts' recent capital campaign. Words that are used when describing Woody include friendly, charismatic, inclusive of others, and an innovative problem solver.
And having said all the other things about Woody and his leadership skills and his business acumen, Woody is fun to be around. And I think that helps him be successful because people like to be with Woody. He's very fun and very personable.
Woody, thank you for all you have done for your community. Through your hard work and dedication, you have more than earned the honor granted to you this evening. Welcome Woody Fitton to the Greater Butler County Business Hall of Fame.
Wow. I'm really glad to be standing in front of you because that felt a lot like a memorial. So I am really thrilled that I am alive and breathing and standing in front of you. I want to thank Junior Achievement and the committee for this incredible honor. And want to also, as John stated, I want to congratulate my fellow inductees. It's an honor to be part of such a distinguished group. And I also want to thank my wife, Diane, and my work colleague, Kim Munifo, who I know put a lot of time into helping make that that video come to life. And of course, my friends who participated, I can tell you that meant the world to me, your comments. And I really appreciate that you followed the script I sent you to the letter. So thank you for that. When I got the call in February, obviously I felt very humbled. But I have had a couple thoughts that continued to percolate, and they were both these feelings of tremendous gratitude and being blessed. I'm very grateful that I've been able to live, work, and play most of my life in my hometown around my extended family and so many great friends, many of whom are here tonight. I've been fortunate to work for 2 great organizations. First Financial Bank for around 20 years under leaders like Dick Fitton and Rick Blossom and Al Miller, and working, of course, with Mag Baker and others. Last 10 years, I've had the privilege of working the YMCA, my colleagues right here, who are here tonight. I'll tell you, it is an absolute privilege and honor to work with people like this every day who are so passionate and committed to our cause and mission. It's very easy to roll out of bed to come and be able to work with a team like this, and they do great work. Thank you. Obviously, I'm very grateful to be part of a fantastic family. Many of them are here. Several of them are here. My sisters, Ann and Kate, and I could not have been any more blessed than to have parents like Grace and Vaden Fitton. Grace was very aptly named. And, you know, I had a lot of people, a lot of friends said to me, your family reminded us when they'd come over and see our home life, very much like the Cleaver family on Leave It to Beaver. And I think that was probably an apt description, except that our Ward Cleaver had a little more of a temper than the one on TV. But otherwise, I think it's dead on. And, you know, speaking of my parents, my mom was a very gentle woman, but she made a tremendous impact on a lot of people, and certainly me in a big way. I always knew I was loved and supported, and she always had my back no matter what the situation. And my dad, who is a laureate, and has just been an incredible dad. I had a tremendous role model, mentor, coach, an indispensable friend in my father. In fact, I would say I would not be standing here in front of you today without my father. He made me the man I am today. And unfortunately, he could not be here. He's got significant health problems, but he will see the videos. So, Pops, I love you, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. And finally, I'm very grateful for my wife, Diane, and my sons, Vaden and Drew. My boys have taught me the meaning of unconditional love, patience, and perseverance. I love you guys. And my wife, I hit the lottery when I married Diane. That's pretty obvious, right? I mean, you know, she's not only strikingly beautiful, she still takes my breath away, but she has been an amazing wife, mother, daughter, family member, friend, community member. To me, she's been a partner in every sense of the word. She's been my counsel, advisor, support, and she's coached me through a lot of difficult things in my career. And, you know, any success I've had, I share 100% with Diane because I wouldn't have had it without her. So here's to you, kid. So again, I want to thank Junior Achievement for this very amazing honor. I'm very humbled and I'm very appreciative. And to all of you for being here tonight and sharing this evening with us. God bless.
See, I told you a little bit before that I had the best job here, and I was the most blessed of anyone because I get to honor and deliver the kind of award that we've talked about tonight to some of my very best friends. Congratulations, all of you. And congratulations to Junior Achievement as well for putting on an event like this. We're proud to honor these 4 laureates tonight. They have helped make the greater Butler County area a great community to live and work. Tonight, we've honored business leaders past and present whose achievements serve as a model of excellence for future generations of leaders. And it's these students, our future leaders, the essence of Junior Achievement, who will write the next chapters in the history of our community. I'd also like to thank the sponsors that contributed to make this evening event a particular success. Our banquet sponsor, Milliken and Fitton Law Firm, our guest reception sponsor, Matandy Steele, and our production sponsor, Vaden Fitton. We'd like to acknowledge Drive House Media for their work on the wonderful vignettes that you saw here tonight. And in addition to these, we had many other sponsors that have contributed to tonight's event. Please take a moment to look in the program that you have. They are all recognized in the program. And kind of give them a high five for what they've done for us here. So finally, I'd like to share with you something that was shared with me by Kemmons Wilson, who is the founder of Holiday Inns. He was a guest of the Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame many years ago. Unfortunately, he has passed now. But he shared these words with me, and I thought they were particularly poignant tonight. And his advice for life was to take the time to laugh, because it is the magic of our soul. To take the time to think, because it's our source of power. To take the time to play, because it's the source of our perpetual youth. To take the time to read, it's the greatest power on earth. Take the time to work, because it is the price of our success. Take time to be friendly, it's the road to happiness. Take time to give, it is too short a day to be selfish, too short every day. And finally, take the time to love and be loved, because it is our God-given privilege. Congratulations to everyone here tonight who had the good sense to come and enjoy this evening with me, particularly. We are honored by your presence, and particularly by the presence of all our laureates here tonight and our new laureates. Have a safe trip home. Good night.